Hey guys, still working at it. I've decided to use this cable here only because after checking the other cable that came with the BMS, it measures exactly the same using a vernier caliper, and then when I take the wire off, it actually measures that size as well. So that's handy. And I've measured it from the end of my bench where I've got another vise to this line there. So that line there is the end, and each wire has to be the same length. The reason is it's meant to be for current draw and stuff like that. Not 100% sure why, because I don't believe that would be perfectly the truth, but better to keep it the same length anyway. So that's what I'll be doing. I'll be using the old Weller here and soldering one end up to go into our device we've already got on the wall, which is those little clippy things, which are better than the old screw ones. And then the other end will have one of these, which is which you pick up from in Australia from Super Cheap, and they're 6.3mm 1/4 inch, and you get 16 of them, and they're for wire between 2.5 and 3mm wire. Okay, so that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be hooking it up one end like that. I don't even know if I'm going to solder it on there. I might, I don't know yet. And I'm just going to go and find my original crimps, because I've got a multitude of crimps. You can always collect crimps and stuff. I've got a multitude of soldering stations hanging around here. But yeah, I've got to get onto it. Wish me luck. Just remember, when you're crimping the wires, get a good crimper. I bought this one. I've got a heap of crimpers hanging around the house, and this one came from AliExpress. I'll see if I can list it down below. It's handy because it'll do the different types of connectors, all of them. And I do have other crimpers like these ones that do different things, which I have for coaxial cable crimping, and other ones as well. So they're probably just the same thing. I just had to get the die. You can just get a die and replace it to get it going. These ones are a bit loose. Now, I stripped the wire a little bit further than normal. Usually these are good. They've got a good mechanical connection, but you can also do a little bit of soldering at the end, which will help with your current. And that's also a good idea too, but you don't have to do that. And a little bit of heat shrink will go a long way when you're doing it. Now the other end, because it's not a big plug-in connector, you don't want a lot. So probably that's about, I don't know, 5mm, if that. I'll just measure it. It's actually 10mm, just 10mm off the end, and you just have to solder that up. Make sure you thread it around. You don't want to bring your solder down any further than to about, you don't want it to bring it all the way down or you'll snap your wire as it goes in. So when you're doing it, you solder the wire up, but you don't go all the way down to the bottom. So I've got it hooked in there. Handy little thing. I don't think it costs too much at Audi, and it's probably the best item I've ever bought for holding the wire. I've got solder on reels over here that just come out of there. It's a good little idea. So you can just get a little bit on there. And that's, you don't want any over. So you've got a little bit at the end holding it together, and holds it together but leaves the bottom end loose so that it can move and it won't snap. You don't want to snap your wires. If you're having a problem and your solder hasn't got enough flux in it, you can always use a bit of flux. You can buy this as well from AliExpress. It works. Or you can just go down to your local welding shop and just get a little bit, just put it on the end and pop it in and give it a quick touch up. So that'll give you a bit more. You might need to use a something to clean it if you want to clean it. In this case, I'm not going to, but you can use some alcohol, which I've bought from the local electronics shop, pure alcohol, and that also cleans boards as well. So yeah, do that, and we'll keep going. We'll make around about 16 or 17 of these. Is it 16 or 17? Just double checking the length. It looks pretty good. It just goes over the mark now. Happy with that. So that's number one. Number two on its way. The final thing I want to show you is that I've soldered it up, and the reason is I just want it to be a really good connection. You don't have to do that. You can put a bit of heat shrink on the end of it if you feel inclined, and just a small amount, like I said, at the other end, about 10 mil. And I'll see you on the next one. This should be done, and then we just have to fit it. So good luck to you all, and leave a comment below, see how your day's going.